Mirza Alamsyah as the second speaker, and Kaniar Dana as the third speaker, and the reply speaker will be Johan Kristianto. And for the opposition team, we have a team from Poltekbang Surabaya, with Rizak Dian as the first speaker, Lutfi Asagaf as the second speaker, Dava Emrizkisha as the third speaker, and the reply speaker will be Rizak Dian. And in this final round, we have 3 adjudicators. We have Mr. Raka, Miss Lucy, and Miss Alfie. And for this final round motion is this house would prefer a world where nobody has the ability to lie. To start this debate, I would like to call the first speaker of the government team to Johan Kristianto. Please, time is yours.
Okay, thank you. I will start my speech in 3, 2, 1. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, like we see into the status quo that all of this humanity biggest problem is cause of lie, because what we see like World War II that started because of what, because the slander that happened with other country, that hate speech or hate information that spreaded by some people about certain country, and because of that they still start the conflict about that war itself. And we see like in Indonesia, example like in ke-32 SPKI and etc. It's because the lie that they tell that can create this destruction, and many other simple things that happen in this world is because of the lying itself that humanity caused. Because of that, I call the lie is the humanity because problem. And status quo, there are many lies that people do in many situations, from petty things like hate speech and etc. and to bigger and better things like corruption that they do, and hate speech and slander that they do to other people. And it can hit the society from it can hit many roles of the society, from the minorities that to get slander, and to company that even government that can affect government can get impact from the lying that happen in the status quo itself. Government is you already make a bunch of lie to the society itself. And so what we want here is that we want to portray a world that when people cannot lying, and we want to see what kind of world that we can make from that kind of portrayal. Firstly, let's we characterize what is lie itself, ladies and gentlemen. Lie itself is why people lying itself is we can see that people lie because first they don't want they don't want someone to get hurt, because they don't want to hurt others' feeling. Because of that, they lying to cover it up. For the example, like when your friend is doing something bad, like doesn't like they doing something stupid and you doesn't like it, but you say you are do good and you do better. This friend will never this friend will never know that if actually he is bad, is what he's doing is bad. Because of that, but this friend is getting confirmation that what is doing is good. Because of that, this friend is still doing the same thing again and again and again. It will never progress to be better human. And this is bad. This is bad from if we say is about in work ethics place or in organization, it will create something that bad. Even if this friend is working in government, this will create many other problems because of this one confirmation. And secondly, they hide their mistake. They want to hide their mistake. People do lie because they want to hide their mistakes. This is also bad, ladies and gentlemen. If people, some people, if we as human, we always do mistakes. But if in the world that we portray, people will always confirm, oh, I do this mistake and I will fix it. I will try to fix it in our world, in our portrayal world. But in the status quo that happened to this, people want to cover up their mistake. Because of what? Because they're afraid to admit it. They're afraid to admit that their mistake that they're doing, and because of that, they will lie to cover it up, and make them to lie again in the future, because they don't want the first lie to be revealed. Because of that, this can make they addicted to be lying itself, because they know that they can escape because of this of the lie of they lie. They can escape the punishment. They can escape the burden that their mistake doing to them, and because of that they will still do the lying itself, Elizabeth. And because of no in our world, in the status quo itself, we cannot we already created the lie detector itself, but it is inconvenient to use to every people. Because of that, many people can escape from lying itself. It is simple, just a simple to say the word, say the fake thing, and people will, can escape. Is that because of that, I think the check and balance in check and balance society, we cannot always go to cover up this lie itself. And secondly, there are people do lying because they are simply fake people. They doesn't want the truth of their life is to be known by the society. Like there is people that in Instagram, for example, like we see that people post about they are being rich and etc. and many others, but actually they just normal people, random people in the internet, but they are boast that themselves is very richful and very powerful, but actually not. That's kind of people that in our world will never exist, ladies and gentlemen. What this can hit, this can hit the let's we imagine like in the governmental procedure, like there's government that doesn't lie, and in society that in companies scenario, that companies that always true to their text and their product that they development, and many other example like in social movement that can benefit to from this kind of world itself. Because of that, I'll still propose this motion. Thank you.
The first speaker of the government team spent 5 minutes and 30 seconds. 5 minutes and 30 seconds. Now I would like to call the first speaker of the opposition team to Desadian. Please, time is yours.
First of all, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay, I will start my speech in 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the first speakers of the opposition with the motion, this help will prefer a world where everybody has the ability to lie. Ladies and gentlemen, we believe that the world is a diversity. Diversity means that there will be a tendency that there will be the debates and contradiction with each other. Besides, human have feelings. Nowadays, people are very concerned with the mental health because of the freedoms of speech that they talk easier without regard to others. For that, law is commonplace in society. We strongly believe that the current status quo where they can lie and lie is a choices is the best solution in life, ladies and gentlemen. Where humans have the right to choose when they should lie and when they should uh, be silent, while the government proposal is human don't have choices other than telling the truth. And if you realize being honest is not always give you a peace in life. So is there such a thing as being too honest? No doubt your parents will you believe that lying is wrong and that you should always tell the truth. You probably learn on to teach your own children the same message, actively praising them for being honest and reprimanding them when they lie. But is this message correct? Is this possible? We should always tell the truth. Is always being honest will bring a peace into life? We as an opposition do believe that we prefer a world where nobody can say a lie. And I will tell you how this works. But before that, let me give you a point of rebuttal. The first of all, the government team said he explained that lies are only used to cover the disagrees or their faults. Whereas in this world, we really disagree because they don't think the possibility of white lies. As we know, the existence of white lies is very useful. White lies, as we know, can save people's life. They don't think about it, ladies and gentlemen. And the second point of rebuttal is they say that those who lie are fake, so we don't have to lie. I really don't agree because from which side they admit that lying means they are fake. It's not same with the real situation, ladies and gentlemen. And move to my first point of justification is to be considerate. Lying out of consideration can mean to protect someone's feelings, which I have two layers. The first is this consideration will affect in itself also society perspective. Sometimes honesty is not the best policy, but diplomacy. This means it's a good idea not to 100% truthful when confronted by certain situation or when asked a court situation. Sometimes we like to protect someone who needs our help. Not always, of course, not, and committing perjury is obviously a big no, but there are definitely cases where being too honest is a bad thing and telling a lie is better option. And my fact, this popular sentence is not a rhetorical question, but in it holds the expectation of an answer from the questioner. For those who have to answer, this question looks like an introductory chapter before going to problem formulation. For the common good, most people end up saying no and voila, the end of the conversation, case closed, the questioner is happy, we are calm. Safe, we have just to save the feelings of others and ourselves by lying. This behavior is commonly known as white lies. White lies are a form of lying behavior whose orientation is for the good of the others. In other words, we lie to protect others' feelings, protect themselves from being hurt by our answer, and also please others. Almost everyone has used white lies when interacting with their social environment. A small example: when we are dealing with a friend who is sad asking about his feelings today, in choosing an answer, we tend to prioritize ways to keep her feelings in check rather than considering our dress style preference that may differ from hers. Instead of being honest and straightforward, we decided to give a short answer, wonderful, accompanied by a genial smile. Again, white lies become the savior of our relationship with other people. In theory, white lies are considered capable of helping maintain the stability of our social relationship. White lies can also be used to maintain good manners when interacting with other people. But after all, white lies are lying, which is a form of interpersonal behavior. For the sake of diplomacy or to keep stability in our relationship, these are the common white lies that help us maintain harmony with our spouse, family, friends, and neighbor. For example, if your child begins studying violin and is making a horrible racket, you might tell him he sounds fantastic to encourage him, ladies and gentlemen. This has also impact in the bigger circumstances like international matter. Every country has a decision in maintaining peace and making citizens feel safe. Political, trade, and military country has a different strategy. Sometimes this is not worth mentioning. Imagine if there are no lies, then what would happen is chaos will arise where the country's military strategy, for example, Indonesia is known to America, and there will be a tendency that Indonesia will compete with America, and there will be a competition. Not everything has to be said honestly. Moreover, the government's proposal states that humans do not have the ability to lie. They have no choices but to say everything that other people ask, and this is very detrimental to society, ladies and gentlemen. And the second layer is the second consideration is lying can save lives, teach how to respect other choices. Ladies and gentlemen, apart from protecting feelings, it turned out that there are bigger things that will come only with white lies. And this is something that often happens in today's society. And I'm sure you must have done this at least once in your life. I will just give an example. Just imagine if the world couldn't lie. There are people with mental disorder, not confident in their appearance and physical, have no friends, have enthusiasm for life or motivation to life. But in fact, he didn't have a challenge to survive. What will you do? If you don't have the ability to lie, those of you who see him will immediately tell him to kill himself, or you will allow him to hang himself. This is what other people are for. If you can lie, then you will motivate him and he will survive. Humans cannot live alone. If you can't help financially, at least your enthusiasm and optimism will help them. And my second point is this reason is people become selfish if they cannot be lie because they will trust no one. Imagine if you live with lies, then you realize more and more that there is not enough love for you. Everyone thinks only for themselves, think about their feelings. For example, I don't like A, so when he approached me, I will say he's ugly, I don't like him. And at the wedding, when the partner is not satisfied, where is status quo? Now couples keep feelings for each other. However, if there are no lies, it will result easy divorces and gentlemen. This is not good for every part of the world. We as a human really needs people, need support, need more
Speaker
booster,
already
need
spent
motivation
5
to life.
minutes and 35
I believe
seconds.
this is really work with people that feel alone, and by this point, I really proud to oppose this motion. Thank you.
The first speaker of the opposition team spent 5 minutes and 42 seconds. 5 minutes and 42 seconds. And now let's call the second speaker of the government team to Mirza Alam Shah. Time is yours.
Yep. Wait, I'll set my timer first. My POI preference is through chat. My gender preference is dating. Okay, starting in 3, 2, 1.
I'm sorry, your voice is very low.
Oh,
We
okay.
cannot
How
hear you
about now?
clearly. Yes, it's better.
Okay, wait. I'll make sure that. Okay, it's better now, right?
Yes.
Okay. Panels, as how my first speaker had said before, that all the problem and atrocities that are happening in the status quo in this today's world is because of
lie, right? Because people are being dishonest, because people are using their other people to gain their own interest. This is the reason why people at the first beginning choose to lie, because at first they want to hide something, and even for the good reasons, as like good like white lies, it also not justified, because at the end of the day it will create such impact like confirmation bias, and will lead to like a more bigger degree of harm towards them. I will engage to more communal level, as how I think that my first speaker has already explained to you enough about how it impacts the personal level. Now, in communal level, in the government system, we think that when people cannot lie, it giving more clearance, better social justice system that is more objective towards what other people wrongdoings. So therefore, they will get fair judgments of and sanction of what they've done, right? Like for example, we can take example of why Putin. We can know what's the real reason why Putin invades Ukraine. What his goals at the end of the day. And second, we also improve the accountability of government, because there will be no sugarcoating in like policy making inside of parliament. No, there will be no hidden interest, and it will be manifested into one thing. We can avoid government draconian policy that only benefit those who have alliance with governmental candidates or like governmental officer, right? Also, if there also in the social justice system, we can also avoid the crime of negligence. Why? The crime of negligence, we see that people often lying to hide their partners' wrongdoings, because they are so loving them. They don't want them to get the sanction. They don't want to get the consequence of being apart, because their partner will go to jail. For instance, this is very harmful, because there's no fairness, or there's no justice that will bring under their side of the house, and therefore lying at all costs will not justify. Even if at the end of the day they will go upon like the worst case scenario, people got hurt because we're brutally honest. I don't think it's true, because people have already perpetuated the narrative that we cannot lie. So we just can't tell the truth, and this is the truth. And people will likely to normalize it, and even better, in our side of the house, it can be used as a form of evaluation, self-evaluation. It will be better to be evaluated, and even so, like it's your own partner that brutally honest with you. I think it's okay, because it's better to be evaluated by your closest one, rather than facing brutal honest from society that could harm you even more, right? Their side of the house, they don't have the rationality to do this, because people are so clouded with too much sense of empathy, because oh, I want to protect their feeling, and like it's so insensitive if I say something cruel, and it will covering the flaws. It will get them to like a confirmation bias that could be harmful even more. Like uh, okay, if people overly being honest, they give you prejudice and or blind head at the first meeting. I think the reason of this is because of insecurity. Because people cannot express themselves of what they hide inside. They lie to themselves. So therefore they portray, they channel it to other people. So therefore, in our side of the house, with this portrayal of the world, we think that there will be about link. So therefore, there will be discourse on how to solve certain issues that they feel, right? Now, from like a bigger perspective, like how to protect minority people, how to prevent misinformation, protection towards vulnerable people, the like hate towards Black community. That's right. Is all because of overgeneralization towards them, because of the misinformation that back up through lie. For example, like slavery. People in our side of the house, the clash is that people will build an objective society, and we will judge someone based on their meritocracy, or based on their achievement, right? In their side of the house, also in a bigger scope rather than, is that we can avoid radicalization, like using religion for certain interests. In their side of the house, like in status quo right now, there are high likely for them to use that. In our side of the house, people like a religion preacher won't likely to hide their hidden interest. The manifestation of benefit is that their teaching will be pure. Their teaching will be free from like the hidden interest that come from themselves or their group. So therefore, with all this consideration, we're so proud that no people can lie in our world. Proud to talk in.
The second speaker of the government team spent 5 minutes and 33 seconds. 5 minutes and 33 seconds. Now let's call the second speaker of the opposition team, Lutfi Aska. Time is yours.
Am I double? Sorry.
Yes, you are.
Okay, I will start my speech in 3, 2, 1. I don't understand why from the government team they say that we shouldn't lie, even it's for goodness sake. Hi, please open-minded, ladies and gentlemen. You think it's too shallow? Okay, to explain my reason, I will divide it into 2 points of justification. But before I move to my first point of justification, I want to rebut from the government team. They say I don't agree when they say that it's better to be silent. Have you seen the film The Invitation of Lying? This is a film that's shallow. How human cannot lie at all from birth. They don't have the choice to be silent, and there is no option to be silent. No, silent is useless, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, I move to my first point of justification: to protect our ego and self-image. Ladies and gentlemen, people who lie for goodness must have thought about it carefully, where they think they don't have to lie again in the future, because they realize lying is not good, but they have to do it for the good that exists, for the sake of the balance of their life, even for the sake of their health. Ladies and gentlemen, why I can say like this: people who lie are usually to protect their ego and image. Why are they not ready to accept input that insult them? Even they are not ready to accept bullying from other people, they still care about their mental health. This actually based on their psychology compensation, ladies and gentlemen, where they protect themselves from other people attack who don't even know the truth, that other people will still bully you, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, for clarify my point of justification, I will give a very significant and realistic example, ladies and gentlemen. Imagine you are a business worker. You build your business from from small to large, and after a long time you are at the peak of the business glory. But because of your faultness, you get a bankrupt. You are you are disfied by the people, and it all happened because of your fullness, because you are not careful and you trust the person too much. And in the end of the day, you must be honest to your people, to your family, and around you, that you are broke. And of course, when you tell the reason why you are broke, which is because of yourself, you will definitely get a pressure from your society. You will get a pressure from people around you because of yourself. You definitely you and indirectly you will get a pressure, and for sure you will be affected by mental health. Even though at the time you were at the bottom, being a down, being destroyed, but because of that you are fault was not there. No one support you. That's why lies are used here, ladies and gentlemen. Lies to protect you from pressure, to protect you from all who judge you. Here lies for good use, to protect mental health, which maybe if you are honest, there will be a tendency you get depressed. Even you can go crazy, ladies and gentlemen. Why I can say like this, which in the end of the day, you will also be honest with everyone what happened, but you just need the time. So this is using lies for a good, this done, ladies and gentlemen. I believe the government team doesn't agree with this because, but believe me, this is a good lie. And even he lies then hurt other people, then harm other people, and he just protecting himself from the possibility that will attack him, which is when he's down, he must be supported, but you are judging them. Therefore, I strongly rejected the motion, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, my second point of justification, it's going to teach society how to filter something so it can protect society. In this case, there are still many who can lie. This will teach society to be more mature, to choose what is right and what is wrong. In this case, they teach society to be smarter, ladies and gentlemen. If there were no lie in the world, the society will definitely feel safe. They will be easily influenced by the people opinion, make them overly confident about everything people talk about, ladies and gentlemen, to defend and this is the same as giving an opinion to other society to divide the society. Indeed, they were not lied, but they were fault. They were fought by the word by the word that were actually the truth, and because this will lead to war between society. There will be division between society, ladies and gentlemen. In fact, without ability to lie in this world, it's the same could happen war. So why do we support this motion? Yes, it's better if we keep the status quo, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure the government will definitely not agree, because they still can open-minded. Okay, I will give you an example, ladies and gentlemen. Imagine if there are no more lies in the world. Imagine your society finally believe in what other people say, because you believe that there are no more lies, but there must be people who are looking for loopholes to destroy your society. Propaganda with actually the truth and should be covered up, because so that there will be a loss of in life in this country. The society is not ready to accept it, ladies and gentlemen, because society is still care about the absence of lying in the world. Isn't trouble? Isn't this a bad thing? Imagine this happen. This happened because society cannot protect itself. Therefore, I believe it's better for us to follow status quo in this world. There are people who can lie in order to train society so that it can protect itself and can filter what should be accepted and which one no, ladies and gentlemen. Therefore, I believe that lying actually benefit us in positive way, not always negative. As long as we as a society must be open-minded, forward thinking, and don't keep blaming of or looking down on what you think is wrong all the time, ladies and gentlemen. Therefore, I believe me, I don't agree with this motion. There will be an impact that can help society to move forward to become more future, ladies and gentlemen. And I beg you to oppose. Thank you.
The second speaker of the opposition team spent 5 minutes and 25 seconds. 5 minutes and 25 seconds. And now let's call the third speaker from the government team, Sukanyar Dana. Please tell us yours.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay, I'll start my speech in 3, 2, 1. So I will just give a portrayal about the first and second speaker already said. So from our government side, we believe that that kind of already harm that already happened in, for example, a war, corruption, a situation that leads to make a minorities in the under position. It's cause of the lies that already described before by the first speaker. But actually the opposition believe that there's a white lies, a good lies that can exist in this world and it could help. But before I describe more of them, I will start with a few points that will give a rebuttal and argument. So for the first one is why lie is not the best solution or is not the solution, and why lie instead bring harm. Then they said before that there are good lies, and lies is only just helping you to keep to get out from the situation that making you feel bad or situation that harms you only for a while. But it's also being egoist. It's only think about your own condition. It's not thinking about the community condition. For example, if we lie about the condition about our country, about a policy that make we lie for a while. Yes, we can see the citizen supporting us, but in a few years, in a few time, or maybe just a month, the citizen will realize and just get out and just make a situation that really make even worse than just we just trying the truth at the first. Why? You have said before that even though lies, good lies, need a time to be accepted for someone when we tell the truth. Then what's the difference between we tell them with a good way, with a better way of communication? It could help for the kind of status quo to communicate well than just taking a solution that just exists for a moment. Then we will we will face the risk in the future that will be just making more bad for our current status quo situation. And next, if we said that if we did that silent is sometimes is better than we just speak up. Look, if you already before talk about the mental health issue, about the condition of someone, if you the mental health issue need someone to open their mind, tell their mind to the psychology, to someone that that could help her to escape from this kind of situation. If you say that silent is sometimes better, if you say we just must keep silent, we keep lies, then how can we move on or fix our own problem? That's why their statement cannot grow, I think, because we already described really detail about why
Your answer.
in in the kind of short-term situation. Yes, you may.
Okay, so thank you. If you say that if they have mental health, so everyone need to speak up, but does everyone have the right to talk about mental health? So what about the psychologists? They can go there, right? Then everyone talk about the mental health, which not everyone can tell a truth about mental health and write about mental health.
Yeah. Okay. So I think it's a little bit irrelevant. I think there will still be a mental health if we say if there is a something that we have a problem. But if we go to there, it's their profession. It's what they are made. We go there to take to fix to tell or sorry to fix our problems. So I don't think if you do like it will fix. And if you say in mental health caused by the community, it's only because of a lie too. Why I said like that? If someone say, "Am I beautiful? Am I look great?" Then I say no. You look so you look like this. Maybe you need to fix your clothing or something. Now, if you do things like that and speak it in the more better communicative way, it will not harm them. Because if we go straight to next time, maybe they will be got judgment by the other people, by the community, because we cannot tell them the truth. And it will be harm more than we just talk in the good way. So we give a solution, not only lying, but speak according, communicate with a good way. And also, if we talk about this condition in the nationality terms or in the crime, or if we talk about crime in the current status quo, there's no lie detector. So if we there's no really relevant lie detector. So if we go into the more harmful, that's not only harmful towards the individual, but it could harmful towards the condition of nationality and the community itself. So if you think like there's a good harm, good lies, it's only exists for a moment, because lies is still lies. It needs another lies to cover it up. And also the impact of impact of a lie, it will give more and more lies, and will just bring a bad harm for the community, for the country, and for the individual itself. So I think we are proud to propose this motion. Thank you.
The third speaker of the government team spent 5 minutes and 27 seconds. 5 minutes and 27 seconds. And now we would like to call the third speaker from the opposition team, to Dava M. Rizkisha. Time is yours.
Okay, so first thing first, am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay, so good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Assalamualaikum to all, to your honorable, to all of the judges and all the debaters. Today's motion is this house would prefer a world where nobody has the ability to lie. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, if we look at our motion this time, where the government would prefer a world where nobody has the ability to lie, this will cause a lot of contra, ladies and gentlemen, because in order to remain to maintain, mutual comfort and maintain human relations so that they remain harmonious with each other, sometimes we also have to tell lies, even though it is not good thing. Okay, so after this I would like to explain it to you about our arguments, but before we get into that, I would like to give some of my rebuttals towards the government teams. My first rebuttals is that one of your speakers said that if we do lying to avoid punishment, they will do it continuously and doing something bad and again and again. Well, I think here I can accept that argument, because in reality, it can save someone's life, ladies and gentlemen. For example, when someone accidentally makes a mistake in his work, he tells lies, he tells the boss that he doesn't do it. It will save his life. He doesn't lose his job. And in other cases, when there's a robbery, robbery, ladies and gentlemen, you're the only person who knows where the money is. For example, this is a bank robbery, but you tell lies so you don't get threatened and maybe not even hurt by the robber, ladies and gentlemen. It can save your lives. And my second rebuttal is lie is not a solution, even though it is a white lies, ladies and gentlemen. One of your speakers said that the government team said that by committing white lies, we will only save ourselves, and it will only solve the problem right then and there. Just just at that time, ladies and gentlemen. But in reality, it is not like that. Precisely by saying white lies, we will, respect other people's feelings for another. No one should be offended by it, by the way how we say. So also, this things is also applies in some situations, such as at the situation where we are in a conflict between partners, maybe you and your girlfriend, or maybe you and your husband, or maybe wife. Even though we are here at at a disadvantaged position, because our partners is actually wrong, not us. We say white lies to fix the situation. We saying this because we really learn by saying we that this is what is wrong. This will also solve the problem at the time, and the problem in the future, ladies and gentlemen. So by saying those, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to move to my point of justification. There are 2 points that I want to deliver. The first point is that telling lies teaches us to be careful and wise. And the second point of justification is that we believe that lying can also save lives, ladies and gentlemen. So now let's move to my first explanation of how we believe that telling lies teaches us to be careful and wise. So, ladies and gentlemen, basically we live in pairs. We can't live without other people because we need each other. It would be nice if we still maintain a good and harmonious relationships with other people to avoid conflict, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take an example where we are when we are dealing with people, maybe like when we first met that person, or just we just met that person. It is good for us to maintain good relations. There should be no conflict, or we will only add enemies to ourselves. Like for example, like when the person asks to us about how they look, or maybe there is something wrong with their clothes. Of course, we won't say anything bad to them, right, ladies and gentlemen? We still tell what we usually call white lies. We tell them that they still look good, because this will also help us to remain polite, even though not only just with people we just met. It is also work to people that are older, ladies and gentlemen. When they offer us, maybe they offer us something to eat, and then we eat the food, and they ask to us, is this food is good? We, as a good people and a polite people, will, of course, we will say that this food is delicious, even though the reality is the opposite of this. This is for the sake of protecting the feelings of others and maintaining the harmony between one another. Listen, if we look at the bigger case, if you look at the bigger case, perhaps with a diplomatic process between countries, ladies and gentlemen, this is a very, very big case. Where if no one speaks incorrectly, it will cause a world war, ladies and gentlemen. Surely, as a representative of good heads of the state, maybe the president, in order to avoid this kind of conflict, they will say white lies to each other in order to prevent conflict between countries. And if something that is very feared happens, for example, in this world, everyone cannot lie. Then there are presidents who are doing out some kind of international diplomacy that tell the truth about how other countries are being treated, and that is very detrimental. Then those from other countries that didn't accept it, and finally the atmosphere becomes hot and conflicts can occur, ladies and gentlemen. This will cause world chaos, or even World War III can occur, ladies and gentlemen. We can see here that sometimes telling lies is also good for maintaining harmony between humans, and not only that, it also teaches us to respect other people's opinions. For example, when we are arguing something with people, they express opinions that match ours and that didn't match ours, but because we want to avoid the conflict, sometimes we tell lies that what they think is not wrong. We keep learn to respect other people's opinions, and it can maintain harmony in our relationship. I think that's all for me. Thank you.
The third speaker from the opposition team spent 5 minutes and 50 seconds. 5 minutes and 50 seconds. And now we would like to call the reply speaker from the opposition team to Desadian. Please, time is yours.
First of all, am I audible?
You are audible.
I will start my speech in 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, I will explain you what is happening in this debate. Lie is something inside and outside us. Every people must have done lie at least once in their life. We strongly believe that the current status quo where they can lie and lie is the choices is the best solution in life. Where humans have the right to choose where they should lie and when they should be silent. And if you realize being honest does not always give you peace in life, so is there such a thing being to honest? You probably want to teach your children the same message. But is this message correct, or is it possible we should always tell the truth? Is always being honest will bring peace into life? We as an opposition do believe that we prefer a world where nobody can say a lie. And with this statement, I'll tell you our arguments, such as to be considered lying out of consideration can mean to protect someone's feelings, for the sake of diplomacy, or to keep stability in our relationship. These are the common life that help us maintain harmony with our spouse, family, and other. But if you can think and open your eyes about this problem, you will find that being honest doesn't guarantee you live in peace, because not everything is necessary to say, and we as a human also have a heart, should care about others' feeling. And second is people will become selfish if they cannot lie because they will trust no one and teach how to respect other choices. Lying can save lives. To protect our ego and self-image, another reason why we don't tell truth is based on psychological conversation to protect how we perceive by others. And now let's take a look with the opposition team. They came out with an idea that this is where better world if nobody has the ability to lie, and they just tell us about. They explain that lies are only used to cover the disgrace or their faults, whereas in the world, we also know about white lies. We really disagree because they don't think the possibility of white lies. White lies is very useful. White lies, as we know, can save people's life. They don't think about it, ladies and gentlemen. They also say that those who lies are fake, so we don't have to lie. I really don't agree because from which side they admit that lying means they are fake. And they came out with the idea that truth is better, and they say, okay, but they just decided by themselves without thinking if this happened in every part of humans, not just themselves. And what makes me confused is that the government team state that they have empathy, so they will be able to choose. Ladies and gentlemen, you need to understand this notion. If humans don't have the ability to lie, it means they have absolutely no choice but to answer the truth. This proves that the government doesn't fully understand that the intent of this motion. They only make excuse in the name of empathy, while this empathy will be covered by the absence of the ability to lie. But does everyone have the right to talk? They also talk about if there's something problem with mental health, we should tell them. But does everyone have the right to talk about mental health? So what about psychologists? They can go there. They say if there is mental health, we must speak up. Do they think that everyone has the right to judge and claim how they should be? Does everyone know how to be psychiatric? This is not logic, ladies and gentlemen. If you want the advice, go to a professional. This is out of topic. They not only don't understand the point of the opposition, but they don't even give an explanation relevant to what they say. And by looking at this thing, we believe that our proposal is the best solution. There are bad things that will happen with the existence of no ability to lie and what likes that come from the government's team. And by this points that I have already explained, we as an opposition are really proud to oppose this motion, and we believe we deserve to win. Thank you.
The reply speaker from the opposition team spent 3 minutes and 7 seconds. 3 minutes and 7 seconds. And now for the reply speaker from the government team, because earlier I've already confirmed that the reply speaker will be Johan, and the team affirmed it. So we only accept Johan Cristianto as the reply speaker from the government team. To Johan Cristianto, please. Time is yours.
Okay, we'll start my speech in 3, 2, 1. Okay, basically in this debate, we see that that's and on every on the opposition team said that they understand that lies can be exist, and because lies is not always bad, and there is good in them and good in the lies itself, and they already explained to you about the good lies and etc. But we already say to you also about why lie can become addictive, and why lies can become more frequently to people, and why even good lies can be bad and can cause harm in the future, and why lies why in status quo there is no in status quo there is no protection against lies itself. We in status quo we doesn't have the mechanism to prove someone lies. We just we have the something that cannot call the detector, but it cannot be used everywhere and every now and then, and every people can lie because into the status quo is everything based on trust. And I think the opposition side of the team is play in the best case scenario when they never they never respond to us, and they never play in our scenario that we create. Like they maybe they can respond to us like why in this world lies can can create maybe with no in the world with no lies that can create conflict, maybe may become create more conflict rather than the lies itself. Yeah, I think they can actually like something like that, and they why they lies result in bigger harm than what we want to prospect itself. Uh, and they are so do you like to protect people is because they are egoistic, and how people will pressure someone when they are in higher state of the stuff, and they can this is teaching kids to be not lying and etc. They say about that and every other reason that they saying, but I think it is not enough in what their explanation and they're doing it. Because of that, I still propose this motion. Thank you.
The reply speaker from the government team spent 2 minutes and 16 seconds. 2 minutes and 16 seconds. So that's it for our final round in this debate competition. And because this is a silent round, so there will be no verbal adjudication. And the winner will be announced tomorrow at 8 a.m. Western Indonesian time. Make sure you join the Zoom meeting for the announcement and also the closing ceremony. So thank you all for joining this debate competition, and we'll see you guys later. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
educator.
ma'am.
Thank you,
Thank you,
ma'am.
educator. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys. Good game. Good
Guys.
game.
What a nice debate, guys.